everybody. So in this recording, I'm going to cover two upcoming assignments. Okay, I'm going to cover the intervention presentations. There are two of those, so the same information goes for both, right? And then I'm also going to talk about on the syllabus and on the calendar, it's called PALS or Otter Creek / MMF. That's what it's called on the calendar. And then in the syllabus, it's called PALS Math or Otter Creek / Mastering Math Facts presentation. Okay, I'm going to talk about that, and it's not really going to be a presentation, so you'll be happy about that. But let me start off by talking about, okay, so, well, there you go. It already went there for me. So I opened a new tab over here on the side, and it's just called Intervention Presentations. Sorry, I'll move the cursor. Intervention Presentations and Mastering Math Facts / PALS / Otter Creek. Okay, so everything that you need is going to be right under this tab. So you're going to click on it, and it's going to open like mine already did. And there's a link or a folder right here for the intervention presentations. Remember, you will do two of those. As I mentioned, I have not opened the second one in the discussion board yet, but I will. So the intervention presentation, that is due March 5th. So that's the one I will talk about first. And then the Mastering Math Facts and PALS Math, really it should say is right here. And again, it's not a formal presentation, but we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so for the intervention presentations, this is taken right from the syllabus, right? I just copied and pasted it. So you're going to describe the program, the intervention, a fidelity process checklist. You might be able to find one of those. You might have to make one of those. A review of available research. I know somewhere it says at least 5 articles, 2 within the last 3 years must be provided. If you can't find anything that's that recent, that's okay. All right. So I know not everything has research that's constantly being done about it, but I do want to make sure that you are finding research and support for whatever intervention you choose. Okay. So not just something that your friend told you about one day over dinner and said, hey, you should try this with, your students or in your situation. No. So it does need to have research backing, research support. What Works Clearinghouse is a great place to go to find some of that research. But again, the research does not have to be within the last 3 years. Okay, I would like it to be as recent as possible, as current as possible, I should say, but don't lose sleep if you can't find anything within the last 3 years. Okay, so you're going to present your topic, and it says to your peers, but that of course in this case is virtual. So you're going to record yourself delivering each intervention to a peer to post to the discussion board, and peers in quotes. It can be a human, if you're working with a partner or a small group. It could be your pet. I would teach to my dog Georgia if I had to. It could be a stuffed animal. It could be an empty room. If you're out in the schools working with students, it can be with students. I don't need to see them necessarily, but you do want to quote unquote teach it to somebody. And again, I know that we are virtual, so it's kind of not the same, but I also want you to what you submit, can be a PowerPoint, but I want it to have sound. Okay, so I'm currently using Screencast-O-Matic, and that gives you a 15-minute time limit. You are certainly welcome to use Screencast-O-Matic, and it allows me to kind of move back and forth. It's free. Make sure you do the free one. You could do, Prezi. I know a lot of the undergrads used to do Prezi. I don't know if anyone still is, but you could do voice, PowerPoint with voiceover, however you want to record yourself or yourselves, if there are more than one of you. Just basically present like you are presenting to us in class. Okay. So I know we kind of have to make a little stretch, but it's okay. So here are some suggested topics for the first intervention presentation. Do you have to use something from here? No, you do not. You absolutely do not have to use one from either list. And over here it says suggested topics for intervention presentation number 2. You know what? Live your life. If you want to use fast draw for intervention presentation number 1, again, live your life, live your best life. Go ahead. These are just ideas, okay? They're just suggestions. You do not have to use them. I know a lot of you are out in the schools currently already using interventions, whether in your classroom, whether in more of a school psych role, whatever you're doing, use some of those interventions. That's what I did when I did my dissertation, which was actually about mastering math facts, which we'll talk about in just a second. It was something that I had used when I was a resource teacher. And then when I left being a resource teacher to go back to PhD school, and I think I may have already told you all this, I looked at mastering math facts from a research perspective, right? So y'all are really, you all are already out there. A lot of you are already using some of these things. So go ahead and use something that you're using. I know that's a lot of usings, but you know what I mean. There are also some other interventions that I posted from you. If you have the Riccomini and Witzel textbook, it's there on page, oh, well, there you go. They're on page 62. And of course, get ready. You know it's coming. What's going to happen? Oh, yes, you're going to have to rotate the second page. I don't want to talk about it. So you will have to rotate. I did this. I scanned this from home, and my scanner is not one of the fancy ones where you can lay a book flat and scan both sides of the book. So, you have to scan one page, and then you have to rotate it 180 degrees, and then you scan the other side. So I do apologize. So you are welcome to use any of these programs, interventions, if you want. Oh, well, that is interesting. You are welcome to use any of these if you want, but not PALS, because that's a separate thing. We'll get back to that in 1 second. And not Otter Creek, because that goes with the PALS presentation thing. But if you want to look at any of these, you're welcome to do so. You don't have to. Again, just some possible solutions or some suggestions for you. All right, so basically it's pretty open. Choose, I know a lot of you had already emailed me, I think, about, what was it, folding in for facts. That is great. Use what is relevant to you. I know there are some people working together with a partner. Perfect. Some of you are working with a small group. Also perfect. Some of you are working alone. Also perfect. Okay, so what you will do, you will post to the discussion board. Hold on, I got to move this down. I thought I had it far enough. So you will post to the discussion board, which you can access right here. Okay, so this is where you will submit your intervention presentation #1, and I will post the exact same thing that says intervention presentation #2, which is where you will post your second one. Okay, you'll post it as a YouTube link so that I can access it easily. If you use Google Slides, that's fine, but make sure you give me permission. I don't like having to, when I'm trying to grade something, having to email you and say, oh, you have to give me permission. So I would honestly recommend just PowerPoint and Screencast-O-Matic. So remember, if you work with a partner or a small group, only one person needs to post. Just include everyone's names. Okay, just say, oh, I worked with, Georgia, Lula, and who's one of other Georgia's friends? Oh, Seamus, one of Georgia's other friends. Okay, so just put everyone's names on the one post. Also, make sure to create a new thread in the discussion board. When you make your post, please do not just respond to someone else's post, as I may miss that. So just create a new thread. So what you'll do, you'll click right here, and then it'll say create thread, and then away you go. So you can just, create your thread. You can put your names up here if you want in the subject, and then you will make your post and you will submit. Okay, so again, pretend like you are presenting, kind of in class. Okay, so make sure you have, again, description of the program, fidelity process checklist, review of available research. We talked about that, right? Presentation of seminal research study demonstrating effectiveness. Okay, so you will include all that, and then again you will teach it or deliver this to a peer, all within the same presentation, right? So about 15 minutes, I would say, is probably a good length. If you have something way longer than that, that's okay. You can, you might need to submit it in 2 parts depending on what you use. So that is totally fine. Okay, so basically just looking at these suggestions. Again, you can choose to use one of them, or you can choose to use something that you are currently using. You can use something that your friend down the hall is using, whatever is relevant to you currently. All right, so that's your intervention presentation #1 and #2. As I said, I will post another link for another assignment link for #2. Okay, so that's that. The second part, and again, that one's due March 5th. Then this one, this one, the Mastering Math Facts and PALS Math, again, should say, this one is due March 12th. It does say presentation, but really I'm looking for something just a little less formal. Okay, I know y'all are doing a lot of presentations. You have a lot of work in this class. I know. I am kind of teaching it the way I inherited it, and I am struggling to keep up with it too. So I can only imagine what y'all are thinking. So I just want you to, you're going to just make a post to the discussion board. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, a separate post, right? And I will show you that in just 1 second, then where you'll post the other one. Doesn't have to be fancy. Okay. So in the Rickamini and Witzel textbook, again, there are some, you may or may not have it because I think that was one of the optional ones. So I went ahead and posted these pages for you. And what do you think's going to have to happen? You're welcome. I'm sorry, y'all. So you're going to start right here. And yes, as teachers, you're going to have to learn to read upside down. But you can go through and rotate this as you see fit. So building automatic recall of automatic recall of basic facts with the Mastering Math Facts program. Oh, I did it. So it starts here. It's on the bottom of that page, and then it'll give you the overview here. Okay, it'll give you a sample sheet right here. Some more words, and then it also, so that's kind of where Mastering Math Facts ends, and then PALS Math starts here, which is Peer Assisted Learning Strategies in Math. Okay, there is PALS Reading also. On the IRIS site, I thought there were PALS Math modules, but there are not. There are PALS Reading, just in case you want to dig a little deeper into PALS and get a more thorough understanding of the structure of PALS, but you do not have to use these at all, okay? They're on the IRIS modules, or they're on the IRIS site, but you do not have to use them. I just want to show them as an example. Okay, so, that's the wrong one. My bad, people. All right, so here's PALS. All right, so again, it kind of walks you through what PALS is, Peer Assisted Learning Strategies. Again, you will have to rotate every other page. I'm sorry. So what you're going to do for this one, you're just going to, let me get back to the assignment. So you're going to use these handouts, and you can certainly use any other resources if you want, but you do not have to use any other sources, okay? But just for example, I went ahead, so Otter Creek, I know I have it called Otter Creek. That's kind of a brand name, if you will, of Mastering Math Facts. So I did go into Google, and I just Googled Otter Creek Math Facts, and some example sheets show up. So you'll see it's from Otter Creek. So it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of a brand name. I think the stuff that they provide, the Mastering Math Facts, is not specifically, like it doesn't say, right? It doesn't say Otter Creek, but it's the same thing. Okay, so if you want more information, just Google, Mastering Math Facts or Otter Creek, okay, or PALS Math if you want to do something with PALS Math. Again, I did my dissertation about Otter Creek or Mastering Math Facts, whatever you want to call it. And if I can find the PowerPoint, I thought I had it, but I don't know about y'all, but I have like 47 flash drives. And of course, I started using a new work bag, and the one that I need for this, for PALS is, for Mastering Math Facts is in my bag at home. So if I find it, I will post it just as another resource for you. But again, you don't have to do anything with it. But just so you know, all of these are out there for free. So you might start digging into Mastering Math Facts and say, "Ooh, I really like this." And I think one of you actually commented about that in, I think it was chapter 5, maybe in the quiz. You said something about Rocket Math, the same thing, right? Rocket Math, Mastering Math Facts, Otter Creek, they're all the same thing. So, all these resources are out here for you for free. So you're welcome. All right, so what you're going to do for this assignment, you're just going to give me a 3-2-1 post to the discussion board. Again, not fancy pants. So I want you to share 3 summarizing points about Mastering Math Facts or PALS Math. I want you to choose one or the other, okay? Mastering Math Facts or PALS Math, okay? So you're going to share 3 summarizing points about it, again, from either these handouts up here. That's plenty of information, or if you want to dig a little deeper, that's fine as well, but you don't have to. Then you're going to describe 2 ways Mastering Math Facts or PALS, and I will change the title after I'm done with this recording. Describe 2 ways Mastering Math Facts or PALS could be implemented in a classroom or intervention class. And class isn't really what the word I wanted, but you all know what I mean, an intervention group or maybe a small group situation or something like that. And then provide 1 reason why improving the fluency and automaticity of basic math facts is crucial for all student success. Okay, so again, it is a discussion board post. You will go right here, you will create a thread. Okay, so hopefully, I'm almost out of time, people. Hopefully this answers your questions though. So here's again where you will post the intervention presentation. Pretend you are talking to us in class. And again, I will post a link for intervention presentation number 2. That one is due March 26th. And then right here, here's your Mastering Math Facts or PALS Math. So you're going to choose one or the other. and you will read the handouts and then just post into the discussion board. Okay, so the discussion boards are also right here, intervention presentation number 1 and mastering math facts, PALS math. Okay, and then mastering math facts is due March 12th. Okay, so that should take us through March. Let me know if you have any questions. You all are doing a great job, so keep it up.